Hello all and welcome to another Beyond All Reason video. In today's video we're going to be looking at a 1v1 from the recent tournament of Ptaq versus Raghna on Red Comet Remake, so let's jump straight into it. Okay, so here we go. We have Ptaq on the right, Raghna on the left. Both very high skilled players, both know exactly how to play this game, so this is a good example of how the pros play. As you can see here, just quickly zoom in. Raghna going for mexes here. The solar is going to build a LLT. Then he's going to move to the third one, build his more eco, and then go for the factory. Meanwhile, Ptaq is also doing the same, but instead of starting at the back one, like Raghna, he started at the front one and is walking backwards. This does put Ptaq in a more centralized position, albeit further back, whereas Raghna is obviously further towards the middle in terms of lengthwise, but he is more to the south in terms of horizontally wise. And here we see Ptaq going vehicle factory and Raghna also going vehicle factory. Now there's not much really to talk about in these early stages. As we can see the build, this sort of build setup with the laser tower here obviously is very specific for this map, as opposed to, you know, your normal build where you start with 3 mexes together. Both also going for the solar at the same time here. Raghna with the first unit out. Ptaq a bit slower. By the time Ptaq has 1 scout out, Raghna has 2. Ptaq only going for a single scout. Whereas Raghna's gone for 2. Ptaq now starting to build actual units. Ptaq's comms moving down. Let's see what Raghna can do with this scout here. So he knows where he spawned. He's trying to block him off with the scout there. And he got that one. And Ptaq managed to clear up those scouts, no problem at all. Having those units there to defend the base instead of an LLT worked out quite well. Meanwhile, Ptaq does not have a single engineer out, while as Raghna has 2 and is going for a 3rd. So very different in builds here. Raghna going for a more eco-focused build. He's going to start to expand now. Doesn't see this scout coming. Now he's seen it. A lot of micro going on there, as you heard from both teams there, to try and get the scout through the gap. Ptaq's got quite a few tanks now, the incisors. Still has not built a single engineer though. Also, Ptaq is currently stalling on energy. Has some metal spare, whereas Raghna is the opposite. Now, Raghna would have saw that massive tanks on his way. The issue with going the engineer route that he's gone is he has no actual units to defend himself. However, this small amount of tanks, if they get to the base, will cause a problem, but if they don't get to the base, shouldn't really be an issue. Ptaq is just starting to get his engineers up now. With the amount of engineers he's got, Raghna's quite easily able to match the tank amount. Ptaq's got through with the scout there. And here we go. Raghna first to lose a tank. Ptaq still not lost any. That LT will die pretty quick. Fairly decent amount of damage done there by Ptaq. He didn't lose a single tank, lost the scout. Raghna lost 3 mexes, an LLT, and the tank. Not that that tank really means too much in the grand scheme of things, but still. Let's just quickly see what the mex amounts are like. Raghna currently on 8 mexes. Ptaq currently on 6. And if we quick look at the stats here, we can see that in terms of metal produced, Ptaq is quite a bit behind. Almost 1,000 behind. Energy produced, he's also behind on that as well as accessing more energy here. Not by much, only by 2, but still. Right now, Ptaq's getting the same amount of engineers out, I believe, as Raghna. He has a total of 5. Raghna has 6, so he's 1 behind. He's got a good attack pressure here. That's not necessarily a great move there by Ptaq. He's going to lose all of those tanks now. And the reclaim is all in Raghna's base as well. And there we go. That's all of Ptaq's army basically dead at this point. Meanwhile, we've got some scout harass here in the back by Raghna. See if Ptaq notices that. He's currently busy in the middle. Ptaq very much focused on the middle there, obviously where the enemy army is. Currently got 1 LLT, there we go. Sorry, not an LT. So he managed to get 2 solars and a metal extractor for that. It's a pretty good trade. Raghna still yet to get the metal extractors here. He's choosing to reclaim first instead. But at the same time, he's also expanding with his engineer along the north side there. Ptaq picking the top left side. He's taken a while to expand down here, which is not really too much of a problem. Raghna going very heavy on the engineer bots here. What's his current queue? Just purely building engineers. Whereas you can see here that Ptaq has switched out to brutes, the medium assault tanks. So they're going to be able to quite easily cause damage. Raghna needs to be matching that. He hasn't seen any of them yet. He has, though. At the same time, he has switched to some stouts and some Januses. Question is, will Ptaq put the Ali units to his advantage? He just got... And then, no, that was a scout debris. So, bit of stalemating going on right now. We quickly look at the stats again. Metal produced, Raghna is almost, well, is 2k metal ahead currently. He's almost, well, he's well over 10k energy produced extra. So in economy wise, Raghna is definitely winning right now. Here come the tanks. Quite easily would deal with those LLTs. One LLT gone. Ptaq just slowly, continuously building LLTs here. Meanwhile, at the bottom, we've got a little raid here by Raghna. He's going to get the expanding engineer along the bottom, which frees up all these bottom mexes. Meanwhile, in the middle, we lost another LLT for Raghna here. building more further back. He's got some engineers here expanding with building LLTs as well. Taku sending some of those tanks. Nope, he's changed his mind. Taku with 7 tanks. Raghna with 6 and 2 Janisses. Raghna causing some problems here for Taku, getting some more eco damage here. A lot of mexes he's just lost. Taku's pretty much just lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mexes. And again, these units are about to push in. Some nice harass there from Raghna. Meanwhile, again, Taku's going to lose an engineer and some energy here to those 2 things. Oh, Taku's making a push. There's just not much he can do about those stuff in the back just at the moment, so he may as well do something with his units. And at the same time, his push with light units up here, trying to create a hole through the middle. All those triple mexes at the triple energies at the back are gone. Those units still at the back there. Raghna obviously paying attention to the actual main units. There's an LLT there, so they're not going to actually be able to do much, and both of those back units die. Taku's a bit split up in the middle here, which can potentially be a good thing, but also a bad thing. Raghna can be flanked from both sides here. Taku with an additional factory for the rocket bots here to push the LLTs. That's an interesting tactic. Meanwhile, in bases here, we've got a construction turret up for Raghna. Some idle engineer time as well, which is not good. Taku still having energy problems at the bottom here. Meanwhile, Raghna is fine, getting some reclaim going in the middle here. Looks like Taku's going to try and push through with the tanks he's got here. We've got a couple of ticks here being annoying. Sorry, rovers, not ticks. Scouts in general. Meanwhile, Raghna's actually taken over the mex points that Taku had. Which just adds that little bit of a delay if Taku goes to reclaim them. The metal difference is going to be quite substantial here. Now, Raghna's tanks here. And Taku calls it. I was going to say that Raghna's tanks had surrounded Taku. But there we go. Raghna wins. We quickly look at the graph here. Ignore anyone that's not Taku and Raghna. We can see that metal produced. Raghna was ahead for quite a while. Taku just couldn't really close the gap. Energy produced as well. Quite a big difference. And when we look at active units, Taku just couldn't get to the same amount of units as Raghna. And then he started losing his units, and then that was it. And yeah, so that's this game over. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.